morning guys, and welcome to the video. This is the commencement of the 2021 gaining series. So you would have seen this morning I got my weight and I am 101 kilos. I've actually been on this new gaining plan for 5 days. So weight has come up a little bit just as food was pushed up and some glycogen got stored and the water got stored with that. This morning, after I got my weight, had a coffee and just knocked out some work for a couple of hours. Now it's 8 a.m. And we're gonna be getting into meal one, breakfast, and also the pre-workout meal. So this whole video is going to be discussing the diet, the training, the mindset, basically my overall approach to this next gaining phase. Honestly, I've not been this excited to gain and push things for a long time, and I just can't wait to document it all. I'm going to be discussing all the ins and outs, all the decisions I'm making, all the progress, the wins and losses, everything. And I'm excited not only just to pump this series out, but to take my physique to a place that it hasn't been before. So without further ado, let's get into meal one and get this gaining phase on the road. How appetizing does that look?
Almost.
Okay, we've got meal one going down. So the swamp looking substance is just egg whites. I buy them in bulk to save coin. I've got 2 cups of egg whites there, doused in just a little bit of low sugar ketchup. And then in here, I've got 120 grams of dry oats cooked into porridge, mixed in with some cinnamon, salt, and low sugar hot chocolate or cocoa, whatever you want to call it. Then here, I've got my sup cocktail health drink, and then I've got my health subs and my fish oil here. I'm not going to get into all the supplements just yet, but in a few days time we're going to film again, and I'm going to go through my whole supplement protocol, everything I'm taking, and why. So the macros for our first meal is 71 protein, 66 grams of carbohydrates, and 16 grams of fat. So gonna take this meal down. It's around 8:25 now. Basically let it digest for an hour, and then we're gonna hit our training session. So Gonna put this away, delete these calories while I watch an anime episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Alrighty, so meal is digesting as we speak. Probably finished about half an hour ago. Now just sipping on the pre-workout Monster can, and we'll be heading off to training in close to 10 minutes. I wanted to quickly just touch on one of the big things I'm doing differently this gaining phase, which is the way I'm programming my training. So this next phase, I'm going to be trialing a new style of training referred to as the 3-7 method. Now, I recently discussed this training method on my Instagram, and we'll chuck up some of the slides from that infographic post on the screen now. But just go to @JacksonPios on IG if you want to check out the full research findings and the way that the study was set up. But basically what the researchers found was that this new style of, which they called the 3-7, new style of sets and reps resulted in 75% better strength and size gains than a traditional sets and reps arrangement. Now, it was a really well-designed study, and these findings excited me a hell of a lot. So I decided to write a full training program that is structured around the 3-7 method, and that's what I'm going to be following today and during this gaining phase. Now, I was so excited about this training program, and the hype about it on Instagram when I posted the research was crazy. So I wanted others to be able to join in with it. So the exact program that I'm going to be running through this gaining phase, I'm going to make it available, and I wanted lots of people to be able to join in, so I've just made it cheap. It's going to cost you $7 a week, so a couple of coffees a week is really all that's going to set you back. Now, the program is titled Enter the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, because as the DBZ fans will know, once you go into the time chamber, you come out on a whole new power level. And that Gordo, I'll get you to add a little YouTube snippet of where like Vegeta's like, it's over 9,000. Imagine if you left that bit in. It's over 9,000! Now, I know a lot of you have been super keen to get on this program with me, bugging me on the DMs. So if you do really want to take your training up a notch with some Vegeta Saiyan style training, if it is available at the time we release this video, which I think it should be, I'll drop the program link into the description box in this video, and I'll pop up the front page of that program on the screen now so you know what you're looking for. So today's workout on the agenda is arms, and I'm damn excited to get after it. I've never tried the 3-7 method on arms, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. So I'm going to get this pre down. Enough chatting, let us enter the hyperbolic time chamber. So first exercise, we got straight bar push downs for tries. Just gonna do a few warm-up sets to get the blood flow going, and then we're gonna crank hard on 4 sets of 12, leaving one rep left in the tank. That's it. first exercise done. Onto the first one for biceps now. We're hitting cable curls for sets of 8 with a 2-second squeeze at the top. We just, again, did a few warm-up sets to get the blood flowing, but now we're cranking on 4 hard sets. So arms are warm, we're doing some heavy stuff now. So we've got dumbbell, tricep, overhead extensions, heavies we can go for 10 to 12 reps. We're going to crank on 3 sets. That was tough. Back to biceps now. Some heavy stuff again. Alternating dumbbell curls, sets of 10. 1 rep left in the tank on the first 2 sets, but then, like we did just on the last exercise, we're just gonna empty the tank on the last set, take it all the way to failure. When the fun stuff starts happening. We got a 3-7 method exercise for tries and bis. So we're hitting the tries first with a Smith machine skull crusher. So the set and rep breakdown is 3 reps, rest 15 seconds, 4 reps, 15 seconds rest, 5 reps, 15 seconds rest, 6 reps, 15 second rest, and then finish with 7 reps. All of that is 1 set. We rest 2 minutes and repeat it again. I already know these burn like a motherfucker, so the pump's gonna be crazy, but I'm excited to get it. So the 3-7 for tries is damn hard. So now we do it for bis. So doing a hammer grip curl with the bar. Again, the 3-7 breakdown, 3 all the way up to 7 with 15 second reps in between. I'm going to go for 2 rotations. Workout is a wrap. Really good workout actually. I'm freaking loving this new hyperbolic time training program. Only 3 workouts in, but every workout has been badass so far. So the post-workout situation, I've got 140 grams of carbs coming from rice. If I'm super hungry, I'll do the carbs from rice cakes, because it takes me a bit longer to eat and a little bit more satiating. But I'm not that hungry today, so I'm just going to smash it with the rice. And then I've got 175 grams of chicken breast, 20 grams of pickled ginger to help with the digestion, and then a low-calorie cherry cola sparkling drink. For the sauce on the chicken and rice, I use this classic Japanese teriyaki. It's like 25 kcal per serve, so it's pretty good. So the macros for meal 2 are 61 protein, 141 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fat. So high protein, high carb, low fat meal, exactly what I want for post training. So I'm going to delete this, and I'll see you in the next clip to chat about overall the 2021 game plan. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I'm doing differently this gaining phase, basically to reach a level of size and strength that I've never had before. So one of the first things I'm going to be doing differently is running a higher meal frequency. Like if I could just have it my way, and if preference was the only thing that mattered, I'll just do 4 meals per day. That fits like really nice to my schedule. I get pretty large meals, and like food focus is pretty low. Like you don't have to be clock watching for every meal or anything like that. But I do think that there is a slight anabolic advantage to running a higher meal frequency than that. So I will be hitting 6 protein feedings per day, evenly spread throughout the day. A second thing that I'm going to be doing is being more assertive with my weight gain on the scale. For the past few months, I've basically just been content with having very, very small gains on the scale, and even some maintenance weeks. And like it was summer, and it's nice to have the abs and the conditioning and the veins, but I know that what I'm doing is not optimizing the muscle gain. So I've just made the decision to accept that the shreds are gonna fade a little, and to do so, I'm gonna be targeting sort of at least 300 to 500 gram gains per week on my weekly average body weight. So a fair bit more aggressive than I've been doing in the past. Thirdly, during this gaining phase, which I suspect will last around 3 to 4 months, at least 3 months, no less than that, I'm gonna be completely abstaining from all alcohol and partying. I'm not a big drinker anyway, probably maybe once every month or every couple of months, but I'm chasing any 1% edge that I can get right now, and I don't want to be doing anything that's going to take me back even the slightest amount. So easiest way is to just say completely abstain from all of it. Next, I'm going to be scaling back my social meals quite substantially. In the past, usually I'll just say yes to any restaurant occasion or invite, because with the experience I have, I am pretty good at just eyeballing any food or meal that comes out, guesstimating the macros and just working into my daily totals without any issue. But the theme of this phase, this gaining phase, is going all in for every little percent that I can get. So I'm not going to do the extravagant social meal thing anymore. The only meals that I can substitute into my meal plan from restaurants are going to be chicken or beef donburi, so the chicken beef rice bowls from Japanese restaurants, where I can request the quantity. And thirdly, like eggs on toast with a side of chicken and mushroom. That'll be the only other meal that I'll allow myself to substitute in. Every other thing, sushi, ramen, oh, I love my ramen, so that's going to sting. All those things are going to be off the table, at least for this 3 to 4 month phase. This phase, I'm also going to be trialing higher calorie days. This is something I've never done, as I've always roughly had the same calorie intake daily, sort of spread across the week. But for this phase, for the body parts I want to grow specifically, which are my chest and my back, I'm adding a muffin pre-workout on those days, so on top of the meal one that you saw me have today. That adds around an extra 75 grams of carbs and about 15 grams of fat. And I'm just doing that to try and encourage, number one, some better performance in the gym on those muscle group days, and potentially encourage a little extra hypertrophy with the extra nutrition. On Sunday, we're also going to do post-workout family, and by family I mean Gavin and Shelby and some friends. We'll do post-workout pancake day. This is not to spark the metabolism or do anything metabolically magical. It's purely just there for psychological purposes, to give me something to look forward to at the end of the week, and being on a Sunday, get the head right, recharge your batteries for the next big week ahead. I do like scheduling in planned social meals with limitations, especially with my clients that I work with. I see really great results with it, and it really seems to encourage adherence during the sort of dieting days. Another thing that I'm doing differently this phase is eating differently on my training versus my rest days. This is something I've never done before. Usually I'll eat the same on rest versus training days. But this phase, I do have different calorie prescriptions on my rest and training days and different macro percentage breakdowns. And I'll discuss why I'm doing that in a video that we'll film next week. Next thing that I'm doing differently is I've upped my supplementation quite a fair bit compared to what I normally do. Basically, I'm not a big supplement guy. I've never really had a big list of supplements in my cupboard or anything like that. I'll stick to the creatine, protein, and fish oil most of the time. But going on with the theme of this phase, I'm looking for every single 1% edge that I can get. I just don't want anything to be missed during this phase. And even if these supplements are only going to give like a millimeter or a milligram or something of improvement, then I'm going to take that. In a couple of days, we're going to do a full video on all the supplements I'm taking for this phase, the dosages, why I'm taking them. Then finally, I'm also seeing a physio, her name's Liv, once per week out of Trained Physio Center. And I'm going to be implementing stretching post-workout, as you would have seen in the last clip after our workout. Physio, stretching, these are both things that I've never really paid attention to. I've always just trained with like a full range of motion, and there's never really been any issues. But with this phase, I do plan to take my physique into new territory, like into a condition and a size that it's never experienced before. And in doing so, I just want to make sure that across that journey, number one, I'm staying injury free, and number two, maintaining mobility as the exercise and strength come on. Mom, what are you doing? That rustling is going to be all on the video. So that is the game plan for this gaining phase. A lot of big changes to my norm, but that's completely okay. As they say, you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. And I do want very different results here. I'm just so hungry for results that I haven't experienced yet. Alrighty, so we had some slight technical difficulties on the last meal. Hopefully there was enough footage to show you what I ate. And by technical difficulties, I mean I did not charge the vlog camera. But we're back. So that meal that you saw in the previous clip was 50 grams of protein from salmon. For that meal, I can have salmon or beef. Went with the salmon today, so looking for like a higher fat content source of protein. Then I had 100 grams of carbs coming from Japanese sweet potato and a little bit of kimchi, like a tablespoon, again to help digestion and because the Koreans know their flavors. So the macros for that meal was 61 protein, 106 grams of carbohydrates, and 19 grams of fat. So a slightly higher fat meal away from the training window, and a good way to get my calories in. So it is, I've just been knocking out client work for the last couple of hours, and it is 4:30, time for meal 4, and I'll show you what we got. Here we have the finished product. I've got 100 grams of dry measure oats mixed in with 50 grams of the bulk nutrients protein matrix and 25 grams of almond butter, which I have now discovered is actually like crack for me. So I'm gonna get this down, meal 4. I just dropped a new YouTube video where I ran an experiment, just not tracking my food for a whole day to see where my calories and macros would end up. It was a pretty fun video to do, so if you haven't watched that one yet, I highly recommend checking it out. But before I forget, the macros of this meal with oats, protein and almond butter, 61 grams of protein, 63 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fat, obviously coming mostly from the almond butter. So macros done, I need to eat this. Catch you next one. We have a meal 5 going down with special guest, Mr. Barclay. We've got a cheeky little anime night happening on a Thursday. Our anime of choice at the moment is Samurai Champloo, sort of like an old school anime, but we freaking froth it. We haven't been watching as much as we should, so we're going to smash out some episodes tonight. We are at episode 16, it's starting to heat up. Anyway, for meals, Harris hitting the Donburi chicken with a tuna roll, and I've got on good terms with the owner at Double View Sushi now, and I can just like ask for the quantity of meat and rice and they will just measure it out. So I've got 200 grams of the teriyaki chicken and 300 grams of rice at the bottom, and I just ask for light sauce. Good evening guys, it is late 10:30, and I'm getting in my last meal for the day. So anime night was a success. Banged out 4 episodes. We've got about 7 left, but big fan of that show. So that meal from the Japanese restaurant came to a total of 58 grams of protein, 101 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fat, and the deliciousness factor was 10 out of 10. Smaller meal for the last one. Having here, I'll show what we got. So it is just 500 grams of cottage cheese, which is a whole tub, a bit of cinnamon, and then I've got 100 grams of blueberries. The macros of this meal is 60 protein, 43 carbs, and 9 fat. So day one, not day one, I'm already 5 days in, but first filmed day of the game is about to be complete. So a lot of food has gone down today, and the totals that we're looking at are 370 grams of protein. That sounds really high protein, but keep in mind that a whole lot of that protein comes from indirect sources, like there's 10 grams of protein in every oat serve that I have, and over 10 grams of protein in the sweet potatoes that I have, and things like that, and that adds up. So a lot of that protein is coming from indirect sort of plant-based sources, which I don't really like to consider as my anabolic protein that's going towards muscle building and anabolism. But I digress. Our carbohydrates for the day were 517 grams. Not the highest I've been, but still high, that's for sure. And then fats are 87 grams, so around 18% of my total calorie intake. I like to keep fats around 20%, not too much higher. Having a whole lot of fat just doesn't seem to do much helpful, apart from sort of make the diet taste a bit nicer. So that is at least the first week of eating that's going on for the gain phase. Of course, it will be adjusted as the weeks go by, and I monitor my progress. I'm absolutely cactus tired. The new training program has whipped my hole, and I need about 38 senzu beans. So I'm going to polish this meal quickly and then head straight to bed, because I feel like my body needs sleep. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video so much, and if you do have the time and you feel so inclined, any comments or sharing to Instagram stories, even just liking and sharing is hugely appreciated. It helps the channel and it motivates me to push out this sort of content. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one.